Are you thinking about buying a house in Portugal and maybe wondering how much is it going to cost? Well, we get this question all the time, so I wanted to create this video just for that. So join me as we take a stroll through the Praça da Alegria in the bairro of Principe Real, and we discuss the closing costs of buying real estate in Portugal. So calculating your closing costs can be a little confusing. And as any reputable attorney will tell you when you ask a relatively straightforward question, the answer is, it depends. So before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about where we are. We're in the charming plaza called Praça da Alegria, or Plaza of Joy. It's located in Principe Real, which is one of Lisbon's most desirable neighborhoods. We're just west of Marquês de Pombal, and we're served by the Rato metro station. It's known for its 19th century mansions, the highest concentration of LGBT nightlife, and an upscale retail scene. It is fabulous. The name comes from the firstborn son of Queen Mary II, Dom Pedro V, the Principe Real, or the Royal Prince. So buyers are responsible for paying transfer tax called IMT, and another tax called stamp duty. And closing costs can be anywhere from 0 to 8.8%. Now, the low end of the range assumes the buyers are able to take advantage of certain government programs, such as the first-time homebuyer program, which waives taxes and allows for zero down payment options. There's no IMT for property purchase under $104,000 for sales closing in 2025. Now, the high end of the range is for more expensive properties without any government incentives. Most folks in practice fall somewhere in the middle. Now, if you're looking for the TLDR version, unless you're buying an extraordinarily low-priced property or a high-end luxury property, a reasonable estimate is probably 6.5%. I'll post a link to the calculator to give you an accurate estimate in the notes below. Now, make no mistake, these closing costs are no joke and can be a sticker shock for many buyers. But if you compare it to the very, very low annual property tax rate, it's actually quite a deal. Property taxes are based on the assessed value each year, which oftentimes comes in much, much lower than the sale price. Now, having left San Francisco, where we were paying $18,000 crazy dollars a year every year, and that grew 1% every year, moving to 300 euros per year, pretty big improvement. So hey, millennials and Gen Zers, if you're under 35, buying your primary residence, and are a first-time home buyer, you may be eligible to avoid both transfer tax and stamp duty taxes and get 100% financing with 0% down. It's called the Jovem 35 program. Jovem means young or youthful in Portuguese, of course. Now, for all transactions, including the Jovem 35, there are a few other costs included in closing costs, but they're pretty manageable. So, notary and registration fee, that's paid by the buyer, usually between $700 and $800. If you don't speak Portuguese, you'll need to have a translator at the closing table. They can be anywhere from free if you have a friend who is fluent to help you out, or a couple €100. Our language professor was our translator. We had a lot of fun and champagne afterwards. Building inspectors typically can run around €500 to €700, and buyers receive a copy of the report. Our inspectors issue reports in English, by the way, which is super helpful. Commissions are almost always paid by the seller and are usually 5 to 6%, including tax. That's split between the buyer and the seller agents. This is rarely a cost to the buyer for commissions. At the closing table, buyers need to provide a bank-certified check to the seller from their Portuguese bank account. It's very important. Portuguese bank account. Buyers also pay taxes at the closing table using their multi-banco card. The banks and the government have a special code for paying taxes, so your normal debt card limit will not stop the transaction. You'll also pay the notary with your bank card at the same time on the spot. The nice thing is that once all these signing and payments are complete, you walk out of there with a copy of the deed and your new keys in hand. Just like that. Get more tips like these and get all your questions answered. Sign up at our website, portugalstepbystep.com, or just like and subscribe to keep the content coming. See you next time.